Messages from Shaltazar, the power of the pause. Greetings, dear ones. We are Shaltazar, the Gavish Banenu, the energy of 33, the Master Teacher, and the energy of 44, the Master Healer. We come to you at a time on your planet when the momentum of life seems to be increasing beyond your capacity to keep up. Your devices refresh, your feeds scroll, your schedules fill, and your nervous systems are bombarded with more stimulation than ever before. Many of you move through your days on what may be called autopilot. You wake, you reach for a screen, you respond, you react, and the day is in motion before your soul has had a chance to say good morning. Know that this acceleration is not a mistake, dear one. It is part of the great unfolding. But in the midst of this speeding up, there is a simple, sacred counterbalance we wish to bring to your attention once again. It is what we have spoken of before in different ways. Today, we name it very clearly for you. It is the pause. The pause is the sacred space between stimulus and response, between what happens outside of you and what you choose inside of you. It is the breath between thoughts, the stillness between actions, the quiet between the beats of your heart. The pause is not empty. It is full of presence. It is where your higher self, your soul, and the universe may connect with you most clearly. For so long, humanity has been conditioned to react. Something appears on the screen, and you feel the impulse to click, to comment, to fix, to argue, to scroll on. Someone speaks, and you feel the urge to defend, to prove, to justify, to withdraw. An uncomfortable feeling arises in your body, and you rush to distract, to numb, to override. All of this is your old conditioning, the inertia of a world that has forgotten how to be with itself. The pause interrupts this inertia. Without the pause, the energy of your life can feel like a speeding vehicle with no off-ramp, no rest stop, no place to pull over and reconsider where you are headed. With the pause, you can gently take your foot off the accelerator and place your hands back on the steering wheel of your own consciousness. You may remember what we have said before. Be still. Be more still. Be still again. This is not merely poetic language. It is a progression, a path, a practice. Be still is to stop, even briefly, the automatic motion of doing, thinking, reacting. To be more still is to allow yourself to drop beneath the surface chatter of the mind into a deeper layer of quiet, where you can begin to feel your soul and the presence of the universe. To be still again is the invitation to return to that quiet over and over, so that stillness becomes a familiar home rather than a rare visitor. The pause is how you walk this path of stillness in your everyday life. You do not need a mountain cave or a week-long retreat to pause. You need only a moment of willingness to stop and to turn inward. You may ask, how do I practice this pause when my world is so demanding, so fast, so insistent? We say, begin very simply. Begin by noticing. You cannot pause what you do not notice. Start to become curious about your momentum. Notice when your hand reaches automatically for the phone. Notice when your tongue is ready to defend or attack. Notice when your thoughts are racing, replaying the past, or rehearsing an imagined future. In that moment of noticing, take one conscious breath. Allow the breath to be your first and simplest pause. Breathe in and recognize that you are here now. Breathe out and allow a tiny bit of tension to leave your body. This may take only a few seconds, yet in that small space, your consciousness shifts. You are no longer completely fused with the autopilot program. You are aware. As your awareness grows, you can allow the pause to lengthen. You can pause before answering a message. You can pause before saying yes or no. You can pause when you feel triggered, when anger, shame, fear, or grief rush to the surface. You can pause when you feel joy too, savoring the sweetness of the moment instead of rushing past it. The pause is not only for difficulty, it is also for deepening your capacity to receive the goodness life offers. In the pause, ask a simple question. What is really needed now? This question invites your higher self to participate. It creates a doorway for your soul to offer guidance. Rather than reacting from old patterns, you allow new possibilities to arise. Sometimes what is needed is action. Sometimes what is needed is silence. Sometimes it is a boundary. Sometimes it is a softening. Sometimes it is simply another breath. Do not be discouraged if at first you remember to pause only after you have already reacted. This too is part of the learning. You may notice, I have just spoken from my wounding, or I have just scrolled for an hour without being present. Instead of judging yourself, let this noticing become a retroactive pause. Stop. Breathe. Place a gentle hand on your heart if that feels comforting. In that moment, choose again. Offer yourself compassion and invite the universe to help you respond differently next time. As you practice the pause, you are not only changing your own life, you are contributing to the collective field of your planet. Each time one of you shifts from automatic reaction to conscious response, a small thread in the fabric of human consciousness is rewoven. You are slowing down the momentum of fear and speeding up the momentum of love. You are making it easier for others to remember that they too can choose. The pause is also a bridge between dimensions. When you stop the outer motion, even briefly, you become more available to the unseen. In the quiet of the pause, you may feel subtle energies, receive intuitive nudges, or sense the presence of guides, angels, and loved ones in spirit. You may not always receive words or visions, but you will always receive alignment. Your system recalibrates, your energy reorganizes, your soul feels acknowledged. Understand that the pause does not remove you from life. It prepares you to participate more fully. This is not an escape from the world, but a way of being more conscious within it. When you learn to pause, you bring more clarity, more kindness, and more wisdom into your choices. You become less easily swept away by the latest wave of fear, outrage, or distraction. You become an anchor of presence in a restless world. You may wish to weave simple pauses into the rhythm of your day. You can pause when you wake, before touching any device, to greet your soul and the new day. You can pause before meals, giving thanks for the nourishment you are about to receive. You can pause as you transition between tasks, allowing the residue of the previous moment to fall away before entering the next. You can pause before sleep, reviewing your day with gentle eyes and offering it back to the universe. Over time, these small pauses accumulate. They create a new momentum, a new default state in which you are more often connected, centered, and responsive rather than reactive, living more and more of what we have called be still, be more still, be still again. Dear one, the world may not slow down for you. The outer noise may continue to grow, but within you there is a sanctuary that is always available, always quiet, always connected to the infinite. The pause is the doorway to that sanctuary. When you choose to step through it again and again, you claim your power to live from your soul rather than from your conditioning. We invite you now, even as you finish hearing these words, to pause. Feel your breath. Notice your body. Sense the presence that surrounds you and flows through you. Allow yourself to be held in that presence for a moment longer than feels comfortable. This is you reclaiming your life from the inertia of the world. This is you coming home to yourself. We bring you this message from a place of love. Our love for you is everlasting and unconditional.